You may be under the impression that so-called sweatshops where workers toil for pennies are only found overseas. But in fact, it's happening here, too, in Los Angeles. Back in 2016, the U.S. Labor Department investigated and found that pay violations were present in 85% of the L.A. garment shops that they looked into. Now there's a bill to protect California's low-paid garment workers from wage theft, and it's headed to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk. Our consumer investigative correspondent Anna Werner is in LA's Fashion District. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Yes, there are thousands of those workers here in LA's garment district working in conditions most Americans would never accept, and almost no one sees them. Yet they're producing some of today's most popular fashions.
They're the clothes all over social media, garments called fast fashion. But behind the glam of many brands is a chain that leads back here to LA's old warehouses. Fashion brands often buy from a vendor, and the vendor buys from factories in warehouses like this one. Just ask Francisco Zool.
This is one of the places you used to work, right?
Exactly.
He's spent nearly 30 years sewing garments in those factories, often called sweatshops.
I'm looking, the windows are open, so there's no AC in there, huh?
There is no AC at all.
Over the years, Zool has documented many problems while working in LA's garment industry, like in this video he took of cockroaches running rampant through one facility.
There is some kind of modern slavery going on the sweatshops.
Modern slavery.
Modern slavery.
In the sweatshops.
Literally, yes. Yes.
Modern slavery, he says, because workers in those shops earn money on a system called a piece rate. They're paid for each seam they sew, each sleeve they make, each piece they complete.
They paid us like 5 cents, 6 cents for a piece.
5 cents or 6 cents a piece?
Yeah.
As a result, workers' average hourly wage last year ranged from $5.85 to as low as $2.68, according to advocacy group the Garment Workers Center. Director Marissa Nuncio.
At those low rates, they can never reach the minimum wage. It's impossible. Even the most seasoned, skilled workers cannot sew fast enough.
How fast would they have to work? To make the LA minimum wage of $15 an hour, a worker paid 5 cents per piece would have to sew 300 pieces in an hour.
Es muy difícil para mí.
It's very difficult, says this worker, Verhilda, who only wanted to be identified by her first name because she fears retaliation. She's worked in the garment shops for over 20 years, but says she still earns less than $5 an hour. If you ask for a pay raise, she told us, they say if you want to work, then work. If not, there's the door. We wanted to see the conditions for ourselves. So we went with Francisco Zool to a building where he used to work, visiting a different factory.
You are the owner?
Inside, no air conditioning, as workers sewed or trimmed stacks of inexpensive-looking clothes. We asked shop owner Valentin Carbajal.
How much would someone get paid to make that?
But the company paid me maybe around $7.50, $7.75.
So the company pays you around $7.50 for this garment?
Yeah.
Carbajal told us with brands paying so little for the garments, he can't afford to pay his workers much.
Are you saying that you can't raise their salaries because you're not getting paid enough?
This employee, Maria, told us she makes $200 a week.
So you're saying sometimes at the end of the week you don't even have the cash to pay the workers?
Yeah.
That's why last month, Francisco Zool and other garment workers rallied in California's capital to push legislation to make brand name clothing companies who control pricing, not just the subcontractors, subject to increased liability if workers aren't paid what they're owed.
We have to make the liability go to the brands.
State Senator Maria Elena Durazo sponsored the bill.
We have to make sure that they are fully responsible for what the workers who produce their garments are getting paid.
But many brands have fought the bill, saying they do follow the law and shouldn't be liable for illegal operators who don't. The California Fashion Association's Ilsa Metchek.
Let me ask you a question that should be asked of these factories. If they cannot do it legally and legitimately, why do they even take the order?
And most of the brands we contacted said they insist that workers be paid at least minimum wage. But what they say isn't enough for Francisco Zul. He wants brand names held legally responsible.
We accept whatever they have to pay us because we need the money. We need to survive. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
The California Chamber of Commerce opposed this legislation, calling it a job killer. They say some employers may choose to move out of state to avoid that liability provision. The governor's office would not tell us whether he intends to sign this bill. But there is some good news this morning for Francisco Zul. Thanks to the help of the Garment Worker Center, he got a new job. He's now making minimum wage, he says, for the first time working in this industry in 30 years. Nate.
Very revealing. Sometimes the cost of high-end fashion is so much more than what's on the price tag. Anna, thank you so much.